Did I not update it? Oh, did I really screw that up already? There's no way. I might try and refresh it. I might just turn off the stream and turn it on again. Why not? Probably YouTube didn't work either. No, YouTube's working. Is it? I need my phone. Crap. BRB, I need my phone. Brr. Brr. Right. Okay. Edit. Playing some blah 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 blah. So now if I go like this, start stream. This is not it, is it? No, it's not it. Where is it? I swore I came up with like a full URL, but I just don't remember what it is. Isn't it just like /live or something? These are all watch specifics. This one right here, yeah, there you go. And I can go like this, and I can go copy, and then I go here. Now we're live at blah 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 blah. We are also live on YouTube. Oh fuck, that's not even what I copied. Fucking Jesus. Okay. Alright. That should work in theory. In theory. So now if I were to close the stream and start it again, we'll see what happens. Is it going to go through the whole shebang or no? Maybe I have to stop it for a little longer. God damn it, it's delayed. No. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, now it's gonna just spam everyone. Oh, I feel so bad. Alright, shit happens. Cool. Alright, I think that's good. I think I spammed everyone enough. That should work. Oh no. Terraria stream? Hey streamer, please enable streamer mode on Discord. Yeah, if only that was the thing. Yeah, I know. You have to understand, 2 different computers. I was testing. Jeez.
We need your energy now!
Jeez. Skip version, remind me later. There we go. Cool. There we go, now it's enabled. Now when my own Discord pings everyone, it won't be that bad. Alright guys. Okay, so now we're gonna have to wait till the ad break before we do the big thing. Because currently the cameras are all haphazardly everywhere. So we'll wait a bit and then we'll get into it. And I think that's how it's going to go today. On this wonderful, wonderful fine morning, dog deck demo. How are you guys doing this wonderful morning? Let me know if I'm too quiet because I might have to eat my microphone a little bit. There you go. I just shoved it right up to my mouth. I wonder what I can do with this. When rave stream? Season 3 Crux finale rave stream. I think that's fair. If we're all down for that. Oh, did I set up a thing? Wait, so if I press this, is this going to be a thing? I don't know what I'm going to do if I press it. No, that's actually the counter. No, never mind. I didn't press. I'm not going to press it. Don't eat it. It was great before. Okay, is this fine now? There we go. I stopped eating it. This is better? This is fine? Sometimes I like eating the mic. Sometimes I'm hungry. Sometimes a boy's hungry. Sometimes a boy needs to eat. That's just how the world works. No? See, I can't even show you guys my pretty face today because it's not going to be a face stream. It's a terrarium stream. But I do want to wait for the first ad break. This is more good than. Nice. Alright. Also, we call it better, but yeah, whatever. I'm not here to... Man, did I just lose? Bruh. And then after this stream, or whatever English speakers say, exactly. English speakers just swear and say derogatory terms. That's why we're officially a French speaker now. Unless we're talking about the UK, then they're just wub 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 with the bass. They're like we wub wub, we wub wub, we wub, we wub wub. Guys, I learned about the history of dubstep, and it's very cool. Because like whatever the dub part of it was like a reggae like style that basically did post-production on things. It was very cool. And then two-step was obviously what everyone knows as UK two-step or whatever they call it. I think it was like underground two-step or garage two-step, something like that. It was just like a beat and whatever. And then, you know, original dubstep came to be, but it was around the year like 2000, I think. Yo, Wilma est un homme français. Oui, je suis. C'est vrai, on peut parler français toute la journée si vous voulez. C'est pas grand chose pour moi. Je peux toujours parler comme ça, c'est pas grand chose. C'est très bien, oui, c'est très bien. On peut faire tout l'extrêmement français, sauf les mots de les plantes, parce que je sais pas les mots de les plantes en français, seulement en anglais. Mais si on veut faire comme ça, on peut faire comme ça. C'est pas grand chose. Aujourd'hui, on va faire un terrarium du mousse, on dit en français. So we're going to be doing a moss terrarium today. I want to try and build a moss wall. It's my first time ever building one. So we're going to try and build it. It's going to be pretty simple, and I'm going to show off... Did it tilt again? Bro, why do you look so tilted? Is it this that's actually tilting? I'm confused. I swear, like, I just leveled this all out, and now it's all tilted again. Is it just, like, the angle? Like, what is it? Oh, it's probably this happened. This. Like that. It's still pretty tilted, isn't it? It's actually hard for me to tell. I don't know if that's tilted. It looks tilted, but maybe my brain's just tilted. I don't know. When's this ad break gonna come? You lost me at the blue cheese pal. Bro, blue cheese is horrible. Worst thing I've ever eaten. Holy fuck. I hate wine, and I tried to use the wine to wash out the horrible taste of the blue cheese. I don't understand what the French are on about. Real talk. Hashtag the words. Okay, ad break's gonna start very soon. So once the ad break gets going, we will move on to the actual stream itself. So everyone get your butts comfortable, you know, put me on the side screen or maybe just in your ears, and then we'll be doing this terrarium build today. I should probably take this opportunity to also get the tools that I require to be able to make this happen. Also, guys, good news. We are currently, actually I could check out the updated number. We are currently, where the fuck is my browser? I clicked you. Oh, you're right here, I'm blind. We are how far away? We are currently, drumroll please, 768 hours away from our first milestone to getting to partner, which is super hyped. And then add another 1,000 to that for the second tier of partner. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I did just post a whole new series of Sleep 2 videos. I posted 11 hours of new Sleep 2 videos. If you guys want to check them out, the ambience videos. Everything from Chains of Horror to Deimos to World Seeder. And the last one was what? The last one is the Solstice Stage Square. Why are you on loading screen? Because I'm waiting for the ad break. Jeez. And we're just talking. It's fine. Once ad break over, we play. Or we build. But there's no reason for me to wait. I mean, I can just chill here till the ad break. Ad break's supposed to start like any moment now. But it's kind of not doing shit, so I don't know what to say. As soon as that breaks over, I'll leave it on the background. Nice. I appreciate you, bud. That's 11 hours. So technically all we need to do is we get like, what, 20 people to put on those 11 hours? That's already 220. That gets us so close. Ad break. Hi, Nick Azaros. I was gonna say, what red line?
This is Cora's pistol, funny little blaster with some interesting status applications. This is the build that I normally run. So once again, to quickly walk through it, we have base damage, we have viral to boost any of our DOTs that we're having. Then we have Prime Heated Charge as our first DOT, with the Poison Quill as our second DOT, but you can switch the Quill to your liking or whatever faction you're fighting. Then we have Elementalist to boost all our DOTs once again, double multi-sub mods, and a little bit of crit damage just for getting crit rate from Enave, and that's your Hystrix Prime. This little pea shooter, insanely underrated, melts anything, and who doesn't like a little bit of status explosions? This Rogue Culverin is gonna...
I got rid of it though.
There we go. Perish. And that's where we'll leave it.
That is where we'll leave it, guys.
We need your energy now!
Whoa! Howdy, everybody. Wait, why is it cropping? Oh, it's because I don't have the right one on. Hold on a sec. Let's switch it back to this. And then here. And there we go. That should be full screen-ish. Why is it not full screen? WTF, mate? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, Jarstream. Jarstream? Oh, this is going to be hard. I can't read shit. I gotta have to get my phone out to read stream. I didn't think this would be a problem, but this is actually going to be a problem. I can't read shit. I can't read shit. Oh. Jar VTuber now? Yeah, obviously. Hi, guys. Welcome to... I'm actually a live Terrarium. Nice to see you all. So, yeah, that's it. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I can't edit my settings properly. And it's driving me fucking crazy right now. Hold on a second. If I go like this, is this going to fuck everything up? So that fucks it up, doesn't it? Why does it fuck it up? Then I go here. Is that also fucked up? Hold on a sec. We're getting there. Then we go like this. Cool, there you go. Playing with the camera settings a bit. Alright guys, so here is basically what happened to the last terrarium. Now I'll admit, it looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life. Let's just say that, okay? So, this is currently what we're working with. You guys remember when I built this one? This was probably the first one I built in a stream. And so, as you can tell, it's not doing... I love how I try and turn the thing and it doesn't turn. It's not doing amazing right now. So as you can see the fern in the back, if we zoom in a little more just so you can see it. So the fern in the back is not doing great, right? Also, by the way, this is a new setup. I hope you guys are enjoying this right now. So it is not doing very great, but the Photonia has survived. I wonder if I can tilt this up and show it. Pop. Does that help at all? Probably not. But the Photonia is doing pretty decently here, as you can see it. It does have a hole in some of its leaves, which I really have to look into. But the rest of it is thriving. If you see in the center of all the new foliage we have there, it's fucking awesome. I'm super happy about that. Now, all the fern moss had actually died, right? But you do see a lot of the new fern moss growing in, which is super hyped. I very much love that. So that means this thing might be savable. So this is going to be like a good example of what to do when you accidentally kill a terrarium. This is high quality footage right here. I like using this camera. Hot damn. So that's where we're at with this. Can I just spin this and it does what I want it to do? Oh, I can. Wow. That's really cool. Cool. So that was our old terrarium. I just wanted to give everyone an update on how that bad boy is doing. We're going to put him back under the light from where he deserves to be, which is just off screen. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is this little guy I made right here. Look at this. Isn't this cute? This is a little moss terrarium we made. Here, I'll let you guys zoom in a bit more. So this is a little moss terrarium we made recently. It was just meant to use tiny little jars. And it's so pretty. Isn't it so cute? See if I can get it a little more in the light. So pretty cool. It's really small. To put in perspective of the last one. That's how big it is. So I really like it. I think it's a moss potion. I like that, moss potion. And this one was really simple how we did this. We actually, instead of making a proper base to it, we just put perlite in the bottom, did a little bit of soil mixed with a little bit of sphagnum moss, and then took some of the extra cushion moss we had that we ripped apart in pieces, and we made it to there. So yeah, let's see. I wonder how much I can zoom in reasonably. I always keep going the wrong way on it. Look at all that zoom. And there it is. Isn't it cute? See, now this would be great if we had a diffusion thing on the light so you didn't show the reflection. There's a little bad boy right there. Pretty cool, huh? So I've still been busy playing with terrariums and things like that, but that was another little boy we made there. I don't know if you guys have seen this, the progression of how our very first terrarium, this was one we were gifted, and it's been growing like crazy. this bad boy right here. This was the first one I got gifted. So I'm a fan of this one. So I ended up killing the first plant and I put this pink boy in because I thought it added more color. And then the Vitonias in the back have now kind of became a background. They were originally like meant to be a side piece, but I feel like them growing in the back makes it look a lot better. Now, I wouldn't say this terrarium is like crazily designed. Man, that reflection's going to kill me. It's like, there's nothing I can do about the reflection, but well. So this is like, I really like this one. It's got a little tree inside too. Makes me super happy with it. And then we got those little plants coming in here. So I'm gonna have to figure, I wonder if it would be better if I actually close the curtains, because it's the sunlight that's actually the worst right now. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. It's not the sunlight. Whatever, it's fine. So this is our first bad boy here. So that one's not doing terrible. Now, another bad piece of news is what happened to our island terrarium that we made. So the island terrarium, oh, well, at least good news is that I saved the isopod, or not isopod, springtail colony, which is nice. Now our island one is not doing great. So all the plant life we had in it died. But this is our island one. Actually, you know what? We should give it a nice little scroop. A little squeegee. If we could so do so, just so you guys can get a little better visual of it. Could use some air. Now, so we did replace all the little buggies in here as well. So we're going to give this a little bit of air, and we're going to rotate this around and down like that. So I have technique on how I hold this now to wipe things down. Alright, so if I can get my cable out from under my armrest. So as you can see, we did lose our tree and we actually lost most of the plant life in it. But we put in a new plant, which we're kind of trying out in terrariums now to see how it goes. There you go. There's a better view. So that's our island one. Again, it didn't do too great. Basically what happened is that this and the first one I showed you guys, it got exposed to too much light, and that caused it to not fare very well. But in its current state, I think it's got enough air. It's a very interesting thing that's happened. So, things to look at about this one. So as you can tell, the soil is greening, or the sand I should say, which I think could be something coming off the moss, or it could be a little bit of algae. But we've basically had to, like, we've kept most of the soil. I do need to clean it up a bit. There is some like little particles here, which actually, you know what, we could probably take care of that right now. It is terrarium stream after all. This is terrarium care and love and whatnot. So, that looks like a tropical island, doesn't it? I really like it. The tree, the big tree we had, I think was actually too big, and it ended up dying. And I don't know really why it died, which is slightly unfortunate. So we're just gonna go in here and we're gonna see if I can just clean up these bits. Just take them out. I have to say my depth perception is not very good right now. It's because usually it's easier to look in, but I wasn't looking in. I think it's a little better. I could probably just like shuffle around the sand a bit. So I don't understand why everything became green. As you can tell, look at this. The sand is quite wet. So it might be algae, it might be anything. I'm not sure. We're learning as we go though, so it's kind of fine. I'm not too upset about it. It could be because I just didn't take care of the sand properly enough. But the good thing is the moss is fine. Actually, you know what? You see right here, the little bit of moss is kind of out of the way. We're going to try and fix that a bit. Just push it down a bit more. We had to take out like 4 different plants, but we've simplified it, which is nice. And again, the moss surviving is kind of the most important thing. And that's kind of our theme today. So again, this new little purple plant I think is actually a great touch. We would like to put more plant life in there, but right now it's kind of in its recovery phase. We do have more bugs. I don't know if I can see any of the bugs. I can. So we do have some of the springtails there. They should be able to live there for a while. But I just wanted to give a quick update on that bad boy as well. We're going to put him away. And then we got the last little one. Well, actually, we made one last week. So I had been ready to do a terrarium stream, but I chose against it. So I didn't end up doing one, and it was purely because I basically didn't have this all set up properly, but I did make one, and this is what I'd like to call my little bog. that I'm trying to build. Now, it's a lot more, I would say, well flourished than most of my other ones, but it's got a lot of plants in it. So this is my little bog we got going here. So this one has a lot of room to grow. It's a very tall jar. And I actually have a cork coaster with rings, that the rings just happen to fall perfectly into this, so it creates a nice secure lid. So if I actually get more of these, I'm just going to keep doing that, because whatever, that works. But this is my little bog one. So I'll explain to you what we have going on here. So first off, all this stuff in the back. Oh, I don't want to go out of focus. Hey, back here. There you go. Focus, buddy. It really wants the background. There we go. So all this green stuff back there is sphagnum moss. So sphagnum moss is actually something that we use in our substrate a lot, but I wanted to see if I could propagate it myself. So I remember I bought this sphagnum moss probably, I don't know how long ago it was, probably like 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and some of it was still alive. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to nuke it, like literally put it in the microwave so that it stops living. But normally most places won't sell you live sphagnum moss, because live sphagnum moss is, it's not hard to get, but it's like you could just kind of propagate it yourself and you don't ever have to worry about it. I just realized we have a spider on the roof and a moth on the ceiling. I never look at my room like this. Interesting. Anyway, so sphagnum moss, we got this and some of it was still alive. So I'm like, well, what happens if we propagate it, right? And so what I've been doing, and I'll show you guys quickly right now. Here's a good example. I took a lot of it and I put it in these little takeaway jars here. So let's move this back. Woo. These little takeaway jars here, and as you can see, it's sphagnum moss, February 19th. See? Sphagnum, February 19th. And all I do is I put them in here by themselves, and you'll see, look at all that new life in there. Right, and so this is, what, 2.5 months old? And it's grown quite a bit. All the green is new growth. Everything below it is like all kind of dead. So eventually we would use this. See all that? Now, this is not ideal, because the problem is these containers here, they're not thick enough for something like sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss grows really quickly, right? So ideally we'd want to have way more sphagnum moss than we're getting. Now, I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different little moss containers like this. Like, I guess between my wife and my mother-in-law, they get a lot of takeout food, whether it's at lunch or whatever. So like, for example, the first moss we got, this is a patch of fern moss. You see how pretty that looks? Looks super nice, right? And so we will eventually use this. We might even use this today. It's a very lanky moss. It grows really long. It doesn't grow like this in the wild, I don't think, but I've actually never found this specific moss, but it looks like grass. And so I think it looks really cool. So we might be using this one today. Not sure. Anything's possible. We're trying to figure out what we want to do with today's one. We also have a couple other varying mosses. So we have a bunch of those types of containers lying around the house. And then, of course, we have what I probably, for those of you who are, you know, active in the Discord, you probably saw this. This is our moss box. This is one of our 2 moss boxes, and it's just full of moss. I know it's hard to see because of the lid, but we'll get into it eventually. We'll probably be using some of this moss too in today's little experiment. But back to this. Sorry, I know ADHD when I talk. Holy crap. So basically this, what we did is we filled it. Normally what we do in a terrarium, we would do a filtration layer, like just so the water, a drainage layer is what I meant to say. Then we do our substrate, and then we do moss and we do plants. But because I'm trying to mimic how a bog works, and a bog works in a way that basically, usually a bog is over a body of water, there's plants that grow on top of it. And the plant growth on top of it usually covers the body of water, and it like decomposes at a much slower rate. And then what you'll do is you'll find that the entire body of water is covered by plant life. Usually, like, sphagnum moss is one of the key elements because it grows really quickly and it doesn't need a lot to grow. Whereas like other mosses need certain conditions. Usually sphagnum moss is one of the key elements of this, and there's other plants and things like that that grow around it. And it gets so thick it covers the water, and it basically slows down the process of decomposition. And that's why you get things like peat. Peat is just like the layers and layers of decomposed plant life, and it's actually like one of the stepping stones to fossil fuels. So this is a little, like, you know, intro into us trying to create this. Now, we used to have a water tank going here. So before we had this all set up, we had a giant water tank here, or fish tank, I guess. And we were growing the little purple ones and the big white-leafed Fittonia. I actually don't know what those are called. I should probably figure out what those are called. But the big leaf Fittonia, we had it growing in just a fish tank full of water, and the water was just cycling through. And fossil fuels take like 1,000 years. Yes? No? Yeah. But peat moss usually takes about 200 years. So that's why it's like a stepping stone to fossil fuels. So it takes about 200 years to make peat moss. That's why so many people in the community, in the plant growth community, things like that, are against the harvesting of peat moss, because it destroys ecosystems, it destroys bog ecosystems, and it's very hard to reproduce. Like we have in the, or I shouldn't say we, but in the science community, they have figured out a way to be able to accelerate the growth of peat moss, or I should say the decomposition of peat moss, to about 45 years. So it's still a really long time. You get 2 cycles of peat moss in a lifetime, right? So we're trying to really push against it and instead just use sphagnum moss. So sphagnum moss, which is what we're growing obviously right here in the back, sphagnum moss has the property that can hold 6 times its either weight or volume of water. It is very absorbent. So that's why peat moss is so good, because peat moss is usually sphagnum moss that has been kind of, or as some people call it, bog moss. Because again, it comes from bogs, right? And so like for example, this is what our dry sphagnum moss that we're going to be using today looks like, right? And so this is very high in water absorption. It's kind of what we use to be able to make sure terrariums keep their water, because you don't water them. You leave them for years without ever giving them water if possible, as long as it's in the right conditions. So yeah, so we're trying to recreate our own little bog. So you'll see there's like little brown bits in the front here. I don't know if you can actually see that. I would move the camera, but you know, actually maybe I could just tilt it. I don't know if you guys can see, my hand's in the way. Do you see the little brown pieces? So originally we tried to, you'll see the water when I do that. Look at the water come out. See? So we tried to start the peat moss, or the sphagnum moss, with little bits and put it on the water, because I'm like, maybe that will work. But that ended up not doing well because it all sunk to the bottom. It oversaturated, and I wouldn't say it died, but it wasn't prospering like the other ones were. So what I've done is now I was like, okay, well, we know that like all this is pressed in. You'll see all down here, it's all pressed in to the perlite. And so we use perlite as a way of separating all the plants from basically the water level, keeping them above the water level, but giving them the opportunity for their roots to kind of push. So that was kind of our whole, like, you know, idea behind this. So we would technically add more water as the plants grew, and their root systems should grow under there. Now, you'll see the little Fittonias in the back. Those we've never properly been able to propagate in any of our setups, and we've had hard time, you know, doing it because basically they either dry out or something, like they're not getting enough nutrition. So this is why we have this layer of topsoil under here, because that's where the plants are going to get their nutrition. So they're going to suck out the nutrition from the water, because the water is going to be saturated from the topsoil. And so that's kind of our idea here. Now, this is only a week old. The good news is everything looks pretty good. We even have, if you'll see, I don't know if you can hear, I might zoom in a bit to see if you can see this. Wrong way. I always do the wrong way. So if you can see, let's see if I can rotate it into the camera. I don't want to lower it, but I'll lower it. Tilt. So if you see right on the corner of this purple one, right, let's see if I can point it out. Finger, right there. Oh, my finger's going to do it. So that's actually new leaf growth coming out of this one. This one only had 1 leaf, and it did so well in the growth, and we're seeing a lot of them are having new growth. So that's super hyped. I think I should have it a little more tilted. What do you think, guys? Because I want to be able to zoom in and you see everything. So maybe I want it a little more tilted. I probably have to bring it a little higher too. We're going to see if we can tilt it a tiny bit more, just in case. Because we do want to show as much as we can during this process. Now, I have a really shitty tripod. I have like a $10 tripod. So if I do it like that. There we go, that's pretty good. Cool. So yeah, so you can see all the little Pittonia leaves growing in here. You see the new things coming in. And so our goal is kind of to create these little paradises. Now, the one thing I've learned about how I do my own terrariums is that I'm not making them, you know, I wouldn't say fancy enough, but they're not like artistic. So today we're going to try and make something like a moss wall. So a moss wall, put this bad boy back. Today we're going to be using this container right here. We've already made sure that we moved the metallage over to the side. So now it's going to have a nice clean front. Now we just got to make sure we don't have any seams anywhere. We might use this side. This side might be better. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try and make a moss wall. So what's going to happen, if I turn to the side here, is we're going to try and build up the back with substrate and then just layer moss throughout and see how that looks. We were originally going to do this on a bigger one, but we chose this would probably be the better way of doing it. And that's kind of, the quality is questionable. Hello, hand. But it's good. Yeah, so we're going to see how that works out. And yeah, that's kind of it. Also, when I zoom in, does it get too, like, pixelated? Probably a bit. Hand. Big hand. Because technically, I think it's like what? You'll see it, like, stop and then move forward again. That's it going between the lens and the digital zoom. We're going to try and stay away from the digital zoom. The zooming, unfocus it, yes. Yeah, that's fair. It'll always unfocus. It's on autofocus. I don't have it on proper focus. But yeah, so that's kind of our game plan today. So obviously, every terrarium we build, we're obviously going to start with the drainage layer. So I think there's an ad break coming up in like, what? Very soon, most likely. So we're probably just going to let that ad break hit. And then we will get into the build. And that's going to be our plan, is we're going to try and make a nice little moss wall. Now, I would like, okay, actually, you know what you guys can do for me? Every time I'm blocking the whatchamacallit, the screen with my body and my hands and things like that, give me, we'll decide on one notification, like one redeemable that will be like very quick. Just let me know that I'm blocking the view, because I obviously am not in front of the computer. I am over at the side. See, I'm here. Hi, computer's that way. All the way over there. See, look, whee, it's gone. There's where the computer is. So I'm not able to necessarily see this very well. So we'll just have to kind of like stay on top of it. So you guys can decide on what kind of redeemable you want to use for that. And then we'll kind of move forward from there. So I will be getting the pieces. I just burped. The pieces together. So like we'll get some leca going. I think I have fancy leca over here in this thing. Luckily I can reach over the camera.
Oh my god!
I like that. That's good. See, look, now I'm going to block it. So I got to reach in here and get some leca. I don't know. Do we want to use this leca? It seems kind of big. What do you guys think? I feel like it might be a little big, but we only have to put a small drainage layer, so we might use that leca. I don't think we're going to try literally anything else. Please! We're going to probably just go with that, and then that should be fine. I can start cutting out the bottom, just because it's kind of not like the funnest part of it. It's like, oh, Wilma, cutting out the bottom of a jar again, I see. So, like, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to probably move the spinny thing for now.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Okay, you guys are just... I love you guys. So, we're just going to cut it out from here. This is not too big, not too small. Just chop should be good. Just make sure I cover enough of the ends. Where'd I put those scissors? Damn it, woman, where's my super suit? Sorry. I'm a special boy. What can I say? So let's just make a chop here. Choppity, choppity, choppity. And then we'll just do a rough one right like here. Just start it and then doop. And I can move it off. Because I'll admit, this desk is not very high. I would like to have a taller desk, but we don't have one right now. This is actually really good. The idea behind this table, I'm just testing which one is better. Oh no is great. Wait, can you actually do oh no? Because oh no is great. I like oh no. Oh no, I think is pretty clutch. Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's good. Because it's nice and short. Really lets me know that I'm blocking it. So here, test drive quickly. So. Ad break? Oh no!
Oh no!
Perfect. I can take this opportunity to block everything.
This is Cora's pistol, funny little blaster with some interesting status applications. This is the build that I normally run, so once again, to quickly walk through it, we have base damage, we have viral to boost any of our DOTs that we're having, then we have primed heated charge as our first DOT, with the poison quill as our second DOT, but you can switch the quill to your liking or whatever faction you're fighting. Then we have elementalist to boost all our DOTs once again, double multi-sub mods and a little bit of crit damage because we're getting crit rate from Innovate, and that's your Hystrix Prime. This little pea shooter, insanely underrated, melts anything, and who doesn't like a little bit of status explosions? This rogue Culvin is gonna, there we go, perish, and that's where we'll leave it.
Vacuum time? What? Editing? Oh yeah, true. So you guys don't even need the notifications. I gotta open up Excel. I didn't even think of that. I'm back at the computer for a second because I knew I'd have to switch this. Here guys, I'll put this up here. There you go. Now you get Tap Ninja, tap, whatever it's called. Demo banana 1000. All right, let's go back to this. Okie dokie. Okay, welcome back everyone. So we're gonna get into this. We should be able to get most of this done pretty quickly. So the first trick would be just putting in the drainage layer. I would say we don't want it any more than one little ball thick. So as I reach across, realizing I'm blocking everything. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of pour it in. And again, we just want it like level enough to be able to create a solid layer on the bottom without overlapping too much. Like, we don't want too high of a drainage layer, right? So I'm just gonna tap this down a little bit, make sure it's nice and good. Kind of level it out as much as I can. Might have a little bit of a like hill up here, but it's kind of fine actually. Honestly, if we could just push the hill into the back, because that's what we'll need it the most, and then we're gonna prop in our little mesh, which we pre-cut during the ad break. Make sure everything was super bueno. Now it might be a little too long. That's kind of fine. We're kind of not worried about that. We are going to have a lot of opportunities. The only thing we do want to make sure is that it's not too big. And honestly, it might just be too big. Here, let's see. What do we think, guys? I'll bring it to you guys to see. So, as you can see, it's bubbling up quite a lot. Now it will get pressed down. But I think we didn't compensate enough for how thick the glass is on this one. So we're just going to kind of go through it all and just take out a nice clean layer around it all. Let's see if that helps. So I'm doing the cutting off screen. I could do it in front. Here, actually, you know what? Let's do it in front. Let's see if I can do it in front. So we're just trying to trim off a thin layer, basically compensating for how thick the glass is. And the good news about the terrarium like this is that this mason jar, my wife, we bought it this morning because I was like, I wanted to do one jar instead, but my mother-in-law asked me to make one for my grandmother-in-law for her birthday. And so I was like, okay, I better use a really nice jar for that. How many sides is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's probably just ending on the next one. And so we're not going to do it there. And so I'm like, okay, well, I need a new jar for the stream. So this jar, at a surprising cost of $2, allows us to, well, I mean €2, I guess, which is a little more expensive, but alright, so we took off a big chunk there. That should be more than enough. Let's see if we can get it in there now. Let's see how that fits. Should be a little more snug. And it looks like, yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we're happy with that. We actually may have made it a little too short in some parts. But at the same time, this is just more of an experiment more than anything. So we might get some of the sphagnum coming around in other places, which is not ideal, but it's kind of fine. We're not gonna worry about that. Now I have to run over and get a bowl to mix our what's it called? Words. What's it called? The substrate. So I gotta go quickly get a bowl for the mix. Yeah, it's on Excel. Bowl. Okay. Now I wish I grabbed a cup, but I didn't, so we'll just have to deal. We got to mix this in a way that we feel is a good distribution. Now we're not going to use our sphagnum moss that we had in reserve. What we're actually going to do is we bought this new bag of sphagnum moss right here. It was hella fucking expensive, but I might as well use it while we have it. Now, so when I was telling you about how like my sphagnum moss didn't come dead, all this stuff is guaranteed dead.
We need your energy now!
And a lot of people would use this for like orchids because you don't have to like water an orchid very often if you're using sphagnum moss. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly throw some in there. Also, hello, new try, yeah, new try. Hey, it's Sniper, how you doing? Oh, this is already moist. Oh, I kind of love that. Okay, so we're gonna try and piece it up. We do need to put some cocoa fiber in this one, so I'm gonna actually have to. I have a brick. This is like super cheap shit, right? But I have a brick of cocoa fiber, so I gotta like chop some of it off, which I didn't think about doing before stream. So this is going to be possibly noisy, or maybe we might just do it without cocoa fiber. I really like putting cocoa fiber in there though, so we're gonna see what we can do. It's gonna get messy because I have to let it soak too, which is a pain in my butt. But you know, so I'm gonna try and use. I'm gonna, of all things, try and use scissors to cut a brick. Luckily, it's a brick of organic moss. Now I will actually. Can I? If I rotate this, it's just gonna show my wang, isn't it? Yeah, it's too high up. Maybe let's see. Maybe like this. Let's see if I do this quickly. My wife comes in and literally just knocks everything down. She's like, "Hey, smash, 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 smash." My wife, the Hulk. So we're gonna move the moss a little bit down here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. All right. So now if I go like this and put it here, now if I turn the camera, can you guys witness it? You can. Cool. So what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna try and literally just cut this brick, which is probably not advisable, but like, you know what they say. Will's an idiot sometimes and forgets to prep properly for a stream. They say that. They totally say that. To put in perspective, this is gonna take forever. This is not a good idea. Okay, this is not gonna work. I used a knife last time and I chopped it the fuck up. I don't know what would be a good way to get this brick going. We could just soak the entire brick, but then we'd have an entire brick on our hands. Maybe we should. Maybe we should soak the entire brick. What do you guys think? Yeah? Soak the entire brick? Soak the entire brick! Okay, cool. So we're gonna actually ask the wife. Wife! Can you fill that white one with water? Warm water, please. Not hot, but warm. We're gonna soak the entire brick, because that's a great idea. Well, I'm not gonna spend 20 minutes trying to cut it again. We make regrets all the time, and today's gonna be one of those regrets. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. This is all gonna be good. This is fine. For terrarium. So you're bricked up. I am bricked up. Hey yo. Alright, wife. Watch the bowl be too small. Is it too small? There's a bigger bowl. The gray bowl. It's slightly bigger. Or the white bowl, sorry. That is the gray bowl. I'm actually colorblind and I can't see shit. Thumbs up for colorblind. I really like this. This camera being used like this. If you know what I'm saying. Like, my problem. Anyways. So soak part of it. I could soak part of it. But it's just going to soak through it all anyways. Here, you can put it down. And then we're just going to drop the brick in. Alright, here goes. It's bricking time. So we're just going to kerplunk the whole brick. And she may have overfilled it. She may have definitely overfilled it. It's fine though. It's a little too filled. Hey wife, can you get me something I can empty this out in? Or with, I guess? It's too full. It only needed enough water to cover it. Thank you. Alright, we're gonna empty it into another bowl. This seems not dangerous at all. Here goes. Oh, we've made a mess. That did not work out at all. Let's try again. Okay, slowly but surely. The problem is we're getting a lot of cocoa in the other one now. There's a lot of water in this bad boy. At least this is peaceful. Oh my god. Guys. Okay. Alright, okay. So, see how high up this is? That is not it floating anymore. It's absorbed so much water. It is expanding outside of the bowl. Look at... Oh my god. Okay. Holy fuck. Alright, guys. This is a problem. We may have fucked up a bit. Aw, shit. Alright, luckily we have 2 bowls now. We may have fucked this up. Guys, look how big this brick got. It's just as big as when I put it in. That's what she said. Nice. And it's only the outside, guys. We fucked up. Guys, there's so much cocoa fiber. Guys, we fucked up. Guys, there's no coming back from this. We're stuck in this. It's everywhere. Alright, well, luckily we have 2 bowls. And we learn as we go. Because you know what? What fun would this be if I was like, hey guys, welcome to the terrarium. I have 10 years experience in all of this. Nah, man. Alright, so you know how we just poured all that water into the other bowl? Guess what? It's already absorbed. All the water we just poured into the other bowl, already absorbed. Holy shit, what is cocoa fiber? My god. Oh mon dieu. Guys, look. Okay, I'm a mess right now. Look at this. This was the other bowl. Do you just remember how much water I put in it? Look how fucking dry it is already. Guys. Oh, I just spilled shit. Oh, well. Whatever. Guys. There's no water left in the original bowl. I still have so much dry stuff. Oh, my God. I fucked up so bad. All right. Whatever. Turns out cocoa fiber, dangerously expansive. Yep. That's terrifying. So, guys, if I can make a recommendation... Never, ever, ever trap yourself in a room with no door and a bunch of cocoa fiber and let the water in. You will die. Because the cocoa fiber will expand and take up everything. Alright, so I still have a lot of dry brick and no water left. And my wife gave me a full giant bowl of water. So, it's a predicament. Wife, can I steal one of the large Tupperware containers? Like the long ass ones. Yeah, that should be good. Because we got a lot of brick that's still dry as fuck. Just put it like right... Yeah, there you go. There's one brick. Let's take this off. She's looking at me like I told you so. Which, she's not wrong. She's like, are you sure? Well, turns out I should have been. Alright, the rest is like moist. Enough. Can we not put it there? I'll knock it over. Just put it on the table or on... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so guys, we now have 2 giant... Oh, the camera died. No! Miriam, we have a problem. The camera got too hot. And my hands are kind of indisposed.
Oh,
no!
That's perfect. Unplug one of those fans, preferably the one in front of the other screen. Nope. Yeah. So figure out where it's plugged into and unplug it. It should be just plugged into the bar. But you gotta make sure you pick the right one. If not, you can grab the other one. Whichever one's easier, actually. Grab whichever one's easier. Maybe the other one's easier. Maybe the other one's easier. Okay, unplug it. Okay. So now try and... Fuck. How long's the cable? Not very long. Okay, we need a solution ASAP. Because it needs a fan. Because it's too hot in this apartment. This is a great screen, guys. Great screen. My laptop's probably dead, isn't it? Because it's just under that pile from whenever someone used it. No, you're using yours. Huh? Actually, I have an idea. What are you doing? Oh, you're a genius. Oh, the wife is so smart, guys. Everyone, applause for the wife. Can I get a round of applause here? Round of applause. Is that nothing? Are these not anything? I thought these did something. Why do none of these work? What doesn't fit? Unplug the black thing. Okay, so now what you got?
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! 31 seconds, let's fucking go! Let's go!
So you gotta figure out a way to put it on it. So chances are you have to get it such that one of the... You don't want it over the lens though. Let's try and come from this side. And then you just want like... Fuck, I'm getting my shit out. You have to take it. I can't. Love, 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 love. No, you just have to take it because I can't. Everything's getting on the camera. Just put it so that the corner is hinged on it somehow. No, like, do you see how the rubber thing? Hinge the rubber thing on the frame. The black part is the frame. Yeah. Don't know. It's got to be hinged, which means the weight has to be on it. Maybe try on this side or on the side.
Status applications. This is the build that I normally run. So once again, to quickly walk through it, we have base damage, we have viral to boost any of our DOTs that we're having.
It can be
and we have
hinged.
brand heated charge as our first
That's not
DOT.
being hinged. If it's facing down, it
the
won't be
poison quill
hinged.
as our second DOT, but you can switch the quill to your liking or whatever faction you're fighting. Then we have Elementalist to boost all our DOTs once again. Double multi-sub mods and a little bit of crit damage because we're getting crit rate from Innovate. And they showed Hystrix Prime. This little pea shooter, insanely underrated, melts anything. And who doesn't like a little bit of status explosions? This Rogue Corvin is gonna... There we go. Perish. And that's where we'll leave it.
Alright, everything should be back to normal-ish. Ish. Wife made me wash up because she's like, I can't figure this out! And I was like, that's fair. You saved the day anyways, wife. Alright, so we need some sort of external battery, I think. Because we need the fan to be able to be connected up to it. And currently now I just have a fucking power bar hanging from the table. Which is not ideal, surprisingly. So we're going to find out. Also, thank you, Star, for the 76 watch streak. I appreciate it. It is much appreciated. You can do it, man. Why is the ad break not ending? Is the ad break over? Is everything just broken? It's weird. I don't even know. Wait, but did Firebot die? Where's my draw? Hello? I'm confused. Guys, I'm so confused. There was no giveaway. No, there was a giveaway. You just didn't hear it. It doesn't show on the screen because Wilma didn't set it up because Wilma's a bad parent. Apparently. Ha! Apparently! Get it? It's funny because things and reasons. I'm a funny person. Laugh at my jokes, please. Please. No, I'm kidding. Neither did I. Oh, you didn't get the redeem? Wait, really? Firebot? The fuck are you doing, bro? Was there even an ad break, or was that a lie too? I may have destroyed everything. It's fine. We'll get over it. We'll move on. All right, so let's get back to the Terraria build. So now we accidentally have way too much cocoa fiber. Way too much fucking cocoa fiber. Just way too fucking much. But that's fine. That means we have some to work with, which is cool. So we might just create a giant thing of substrate and work with that. So let's move this bad boy out of the way and let's contemplate how much fucking cocoa fiber we have. So we have like, not even kidding, like this is like a solid like 6 pounds of cocoa fiber from that one brick. So we definitely have like 5 times as much cocoa fiber as we have sphagnum moss now. So we're gonna quickly try and, you know, put together a substrate that makes sense, I guess. I don't fucking know. So what we do in a substrate, usually what we want to do is do a little bit of topsoil. Actually, you technically should be using worm castings, but since I don't have a active whatchamacallit anymore, an active whoa, sorry, my chair just stole my headset. We don't have an active compost anymore. We used to have one in the office before, which caused all the flies, but now we don't have one. We're kind of just going to YOLO it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 part topsoil. Maybe not 1 part here. There we go. 1 part topsoil. There we go. 1 part topsoil. And we're going to make more than we need right now. And we're going to make sure we give it a nice, like, breaking up. We don't want any large pieces. Normally people would just filter it out, but fuck me, I don't care. Right? Technically, we should be a little more accurate with this, but as we're just learning and growing, it's more about the process and less about like getting everything perfect, because we got to make mistakes along the way, and now is the opportune moment to start making mistakes. Because if we ever want to make this a serious endeavor, which honestly I really do, I really enjoy doing these things like terrariums and things like that. So if we ever want to make this a serious endeavor, now is the opportunity to make those mistakes. So we're doing 1 part. You know what I should do? Should I look? Okay, wait. Raise a hand, okay? Should I go look up what professionals use for their substrate or no? I could find it really quickly. Oh, the giveaway now works? Weird. I don't know what happened. Should I quickly look up what their mixture is, or should I YOLO it like I always do? Raise a hand. Anyone in chat think I should just YOLO it? I want to see a YOLO in chat if it's just for YOLOing, and I want to see look it up if you guys want me to look it up. First people who respond get to just make the choice, so. YOLO. YOLO, let's go. Did you not learn anything just now? Yeah, okay, so YOLO. Always YOLO. Okay, YOLO is the best viewing experience. I agree. Okay, so we're going to go 1 part topsoil. We're going to go let's go like 1/2 part cocoa fiber, because cocoa fiber and sphagnum moss pretty much do the same thing. So we're going to go, as you can tell, this thing already absorbed a lot of water. So 1/2 part cocoa fiber. We're going to go 1/2 part sphagnum moss, which I'm just going to try and YOLO grab a handful. Everything's wet. Oh, yeah. That looks like a half. looks about a half. Sure, why not? Whatever. YOLO. Alright. This is what we got so far. Now, one thing that they actually recommend you do a lot of, I kind of want to break it up a bit more because I want to make sure it's nice and mixed, is that you add charcoal to the mix. So the only thing is that I don't know if we have a hammer. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if we have a hammer. I wonder if she heard that. Do you think she heard that? Do you think she understood what I meant by that? So we're mixing this up. We do want to get some charcoal in here as like a filtration system within it. Because again, it's just for moss. So, okay, we're going to move the cocoa fiber down to the ground. Say hello to chat. Hi guys. Hi, how are you? It's Wilma still, in case you were wondering. There's already cat hair in the cocoa fiber. That's nice. So now we have a giant bag of charcoal, which we're going to try and get access to. Okay, what do we use in substitute for hammers? Alright, get me a bag, preferably the white disposable bags, like the ones with the compost bag. Give me a compost bag. Alright, so this is where we're going to try this thing. Okay, so now, when I said everything is kind of hanging here by a thread right now, that's no joke. So I have to try and move everything without yeeting stuff. Thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to smash our own charcoal. So we have literally, I'm not even joking you guys, this is like my wife hates how much storage I have to take up. This is our giant bag of charcoal. And we're using this as a filtration system. So I'm going to get dirty again because it's a Wilma stream. Why is he not getting dirty? That's a real question. Right? And we're going to crush up some charcoal. Because you could use charcoal bits like from an aquarium. This is the first time we're taking it this seriously when it comes to our substrate. So we just figured like we're making enough of it probably. So we're going to take a bunch. Look at these charcoal-y hands of mine. I'm a fucking mess. Alright, and then we're going to take something and smash it, but we don't know what yet. Let's see, does this seem heavy? This seems heavy. Oh, I broke the bag. This glass is holding up pretty well. Imagine it broke. How much greater that would be. There we go. Okay, did that actually break any of the charcoal up, or was I just smashing giant pieces into the floor? We're gonna find out. Hey, it actually did. Cool. That's kind of nice, actually. Cool. All right, let's take a. We're gonna do 1/2. Oh, it's spilling everywhere. No way. There's no way it's been half an hour. Purple? Violet? Fuchsia.
This is Cora's pistol, funny little blaster with some interesting status applications. This is the build that I normally run, so once again, to quickly walk through it, we have base damage, we have viral to boost any of our DOTs that we're having, then we have Brand Heated Charge as our first DOT, with the Poison Quill as our second DOT, but you can switch the Quill to your liking or whatever faction you're fighting. Then we have Elementalist to boost all our DOTs once again, double multi-sub mods, and a little bit of crit damage because we're getting crit rate from Innovate, and they share Hystrix Prime. This little pea shooter, insanely underrated, melts anything, and who doesn't like a little bit of status explosion?
Maybe the last one was not real.
Coven is gonna, there we go, perish, and that's where we'll leave it.
All right, now who wins? So I think the random ad break it threw at us was just not ours at all. It was some random ass ad break coming in here for no reason. I could never understand why it would do that to us. Nick is off. What are you doing? Such shame. Many shame. All right, let's go back to the charcoal. I'm charcoaling hand. Everything's getting dirty today, but we don't give a fuck. Look at me. Do I give a fuck? No. Oh, it's funny. I can't put my chair behind my or under my desk unless I'm sitting on it. My fat ass is what keeps it down. All right, so back to the charcoal part. So what we're trying to do is not get the big pieces, just get the smaller pieces if we can. Oh yeah, and there's holes all in it. True. All right, so I might have to break it down by hand a bit. Just a bit. Actually, I should probably break it down more. This seems like it needs more breaking down. Okay, we're gonna try and manually break down some of the big pieces, just because we can. And I say we can, I can't. There we go, got it. Whew, that was hard. Sorry for the yell. Oh my god, this is really hard. This is really fucking hard. This shit's hard. Who would have guessed burnt wood? Now look at these hands. Look at these hands. Fucking mess. Wilma, you're such a mess. Oh my god, all the good charcoal is on the floor here. Shit. I should be able to vacuum that up or something. Actually, you know what? No, wait, that's a bad idea. I kicked the camera. I'm so sorry, camera. This seems stupid. Everything I'm doing seems stupid. Maybe we really got to break it up a lot more, though. This is, like, too big. But I need a hammer. Like, I'm so weak by the hands, guys. All right, we're going to try and we're just going to scoop a bunch. And we're going to see if we can just pick out the big pieces, because we only want halves. Big piece, big piece, big piece. We just want the small little bits. Big piece, big piece. Again, we only need to fill the half of this, so big piece. And again, this is purely for filtration purposes. For those of you who haven't played enough video games that require filtering water, charcoal is a great filter. Why? I don't really know. Actually, I wish if someone was more intelligent than me in chat could explain why charcoal filters water out, that would be great. I would love to know. Or those of you who are watching in the VOD, leave in the comments below or something like that. I don't know. Are there comments on VODs in YouTube? I don't even know. Okay, we're really gonna try and just break down, like, you know, I'm not even gonna try. If it looks a little big and it doesn't look like I can crush it easy. Ugh. Yeah, next time we're gonna buy a hammer one day. That should be a wedding present, guys. Also, I can tell you all right now that stream next week is gonna be chaotic as fuck. Like, I might stream Tuesday, I might stream Monday. I haven't decided yet. But like after Tuesday, it's like family's here, then it's the wedding, then it's like our sorta honeymoon if we have it or not. And everyone's like, yeah, go. So we don't know. Okay. I don't think I need even all this, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some of it. Here, as I'm all charcoaly now. I'm gonna try and fuck it. Alright, there you go. Charcoal now. Mixed in as well. I'm not happy with how big these pieces are, but at the same time, I don't really care that much. Alright, cool. So we got one part topsoil, half part sphagnum moss, half part charcoal, half part cocoa fiber. The only thing else we could add is like orchid bark, but we don't have any of that, and I have no idea where to get it. But there you go. So this should retain a lot of water, should filter out the water. Everything about this should be mucho bueno. Cool. We're done with making a mess of ourselves. Now it's time to... I can't even do it. I can't even break it. Cool. So now this is going to be super messy. So we're actually just going to put it in the bag. Here, can I sprinkle it out? That's just going to make more of a mess. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to throw it in there and know to take it out later. Okay, so we can get back to the fun part, which is, well, I guess that was actually fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed that too. More sphagnum. Sphagnum. So some people just make like a huge bucket of this stuff. As I'm actively playing with it, I'm going to try and break up the charcoal while using the sphagnum moss to cover my fingers so I don't hurt myself. All right, there you go. So, the next stage. Putting the thing in the thing. Now, I'm afraid that I may have made this substrate too fluffy. It feels very fluffy, and I'm worried about that. I may have put too much sphagnum moss in it. But I don't know if like adding things like more cocoa fiber would help. Or more topsoil, or what. Maybe it's just not well mixed. Hard to say. It is very light and fluffy though. So I kind of like that. But again, the question is, will it hold? Or will it fall down? We don't know yet. So we're going to have to find out. So, do I have a spoon here? I don't have a spoon? Oh my god, I don't have a spoon. I should get a spoon. We're going to need to get a small spoon. Where's the spoon? I have spoon. Spoon! I found spoon. Wow. I managed to like pull the cable to knock the mouse, to knock everything out of my way so I couldn't see. As opposed to this one. Wait, sorry, I missed some things in chat. I always do. I believe I related to the big dust particles getting attached to the carbon. That's fair. It is not 100% filter. That's why you typically also have a mesh and a fine cloth. It just absorbs the big bad particles in water. Cool. I know that light is also a really good filter. At least, or so I've learned. Okay, so we're going to try and do this. Now, I've never done this far away, so maybe I'll just move the charcoal and hopefully I don't knock everything over. I really don't like how big some of these charcoal pieces are, though. It's going to get to me. But whatever, we'll try it. So, this feels like it's pretty good. Now, I've seen people use nothing but sphagnum moss. So, we're just going to try and plop it in here. It can be a little messy at first. That's fine. Okay, how are we doing on that? Let's zoom it in a bit so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Do I need to move it back more? Okay, so that's really dark, I'm realizing. So I gotta pat this bad boy down here. I'll bring it up to you guys to see it. Ah, camera, where are you? There you go. Why do I feel like the light's not adequate right now? Maybe I'll move the light a little more, because I have the light shining on the background. But let's just it a little over more this way. There we go. Now it gives me a little more forward light to work with. So now I can bring it up and still keep it in the light with you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just pack it down a bit, see what we can do with it. Give it a nice little spray down. I feel like I need my chair now, weirdly enough. But I'm not going to. So I need some sort of other chair to sit down and work with this. So I'm going to have to go get another chair. Luckily, I have a foldable chair. And unluckily, my cable's not long enough to reach it. Ah! Got it. Okay, so I have a little fold-out chair, which I'm going to get charcoal all over. My wife's going to kill me for that, but it's fine. I need to sit to be able to see it. So there you go. See now, hi, I'm over here. All right, so we got to get low to the ground to be able to work with this. So this is a decent enough layer. As you do see, our mesh was not actually big enough, and we do have some of the sphagnum moss falling through. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's really not that bad. It's not going to be the end of it. In fact, I almost kind of like how it looks, I would have to say. So we're going to give it a quick little spray down just so it like kind of sticks to itself. And then the goal is we're going to try and build up. We're going to try and build up a wall. Now, I've never done this before. And honestly, I haven't even watched videos on how to do it. I've just, theorized it and heard about it. So I figured I could do it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep stacking on. Oh, why did my camera get all moved? What happened here? Did it, can I make it go down more? I think I just need to zoom out. Wrong way! There. Sorry about that, guys. I really need to get a video feed. In my old studio, I had an actual video feed, which made things a lot easier. This is a little difficult, not gonna lie. Okay, so, we're just gonna pile more than we need in here. And then we're going to try and shift it around. Pop, 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 pop. Cool. So now the goal is going to be, we're really going to have to clean up the jar a bit. The goal is to create enough of a hill in the back here. Actually, it's already looking pretty good. So the goal is to create enough of a hill in the back to be able to make a moss wall. So this is actually already doing a pretty good job of exactly what I was hoping for. I think we just need a little more substrate. Let's stand up for this. Okay, I'm gonna have to like pile it in and then scrape it up the hill, I think. That's actually not too bad. My very first try and it already looks pretty darn good. So here's what it looks like from the side, guys. So it's a pretty good job thus far. I feel like I need the light to be lighter. I don't know if I can do that without fucking everything up. I don't know if I can touch anything. Oh, everything's too fragile right now. It's fine. Light isn't a filter, I've heard of. I know that you need heat-treated charcoal before filtering with it. And keep in mind, your body doesn't absorb charcoal in small quantities, so... well, you use UV light. Like, UV rays can, like, kill small, like, bacterials and things like that. It doesn't get rid of things. I have a water bottle that basically kills, like, all fungus and things like that because it's using a UV blast. Or so I'm told. Alright, so this is actually already looking exactly how I wanted it to, which is surprising. Nothing ever works out, but I guess all the chaos beforehand was part of the reason. So we're not going to overwater it, just enough to get it kind of moist. It will retain most of its water. And that's already a pretty good start. Now, I'm thinking, it's hard to tell if it's just too dark or something like that. Here, let's see. What if I do this? Let's try it the other way. It might just be too hard to see. I might need more light. It is a very dark, you know, setup though. So it's just all the way to the back. We can clean up the side a bit here. But like, that's kind of the idea behind it. It's just to create a hill and then do moss. So today I think we're going to go into our moss box and see what we can pull out. And it's just going to be a really simple thing. I don't even know if we're going to do something crazy like... Okay, this is all of our old moss. I think I might want to use some of it. It's like a different moss for the foreground and then maybe use some cushion moss in the background. I haven't decided yet. Which I probably should have decided now that I think about it. Because we got some fern moss growing in here. So I'll probably just take like a chunk of fern moss. So this is the fern moss, okay. Then where is our cushion moss? Cushion moss is also going to be pretty important. Do I have any freestanding balls of cushion moss that I can just plunk in? Okay, let's check the big moss box. Big moss box is really heavy. Big moss box, put it on my chair. Alright, so we do have a little bit of squish. God, we have some really nice fern moss in here and everything. I wish you guys could see all this beautiful moss I have. We're going to try and take, let's say, this bad boy. Is it too big? This might actually be better. Okay, so what we might do is we might try and put a ball of cushion moss. So this bad boy right here. And we're going to try and plop him on the bottom. But we're going to have to cut him up a bit. So the good thing is that cushion moss, like any moss, can just be added to the substrate, usually. Now, I might not do that specifically. I might add it to this little jar. But what I want to do is cut the bottom off. Because we want to make sure that it's... the freshest little bits are kind of connecting into it. So we're going to lose some moss in the process, but that's fine. It's the beauty about cushion moss. Okay. So now we got the little beautiful ball of cushion moss, and we're going to try and just stick them in right at the base here. And that's going to give us a nice little foreground. Right? Doesn't that look cute? And then what we want to do is we're going to try and probably put a blanket of fern moss behind it. So we're going to go to that big bowl that you guys saw earlier. And we're going to see if we can use some of that. It's either that or some in the other box. We're not sure. We have a lot of moss going around here, guys. There's just going to be a little moss wall. So I'm looking at this one. This looks really long. Like it needs to be trimmed down, I think. So honestly, I'm going to take this opportunity to actually trim it down. But we're not actually going to use it. Because it's really, really long at this point. This is where I wish I had the whatchamacallit, the curved scissors. They're a little better for this kind of job. So you want to see what I'm doing? I'm literally just going into this moss right now. I'm just chopping it like it's like I'm hand chopping grass. The cool thing about moss is that it will like grow off its little pieces. So we're just gonna kind of chop it down a bit. It's got a little too lanky. I think it's because it was trying to get more light. Maybe it's just something about air pressure. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a nice little chop down, and then I'm gonna give it a spray of water. Because we want it to not be super lanky like this. Even though it's kind of cool, it's not the goal of it. So we're gonna just keep giving it some more little chops. Chops here and there. Sorry, I should do a little more in the camera. I'm gonna get used to this, guys. I'm so used to being the one on the camera, not having to show things on camera. And again, not having a feed. Means I gotta YOLO it a lot of the time. Alright, so that's pretty well chopped down. Let's chop down a little more in the center, on the side here. So again, this one has been growing for a very long time. So hopefully this little chop down is going to give it a little bit new life. Looks pretty good thus far. I'm going to chop down any more of these long bits, because they're just going to keep growing. Just keep chopping them until it looks like it's mostly tamed. So we're not going to use this one. We're going to let this one regrow because it's got a little too long. And that's not what we're looking for. There you go. Okay. I'm going to give it a quick little spray down just so it can have a little bit of rejuvenation. And there we go. We're going to put this one back away. So say bye-bye to our nice little patch of fern moss. This is going to go back on the shelf. And then we're going to kind of move on with this. And there we go. Alright, we're going to check what chat has been saying. Are you cooking? No, he's making Terraria. TerrariOMWs. Alright, so after that, we are going to we're going to go into the bigger moss box. Do we want fern? Maybe we can go for them classic fern. I just don't know how healthy the classic fern is. It looks pretty okay, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Because we got a lot more cushion moss. We got some other varieties of moss in here. I feel like if I can get this fern moss cleaned up and in there, it would look really cool. Alright, we're going to try this. Because it's going to look like it has a lot of depth then. So we're going to tear out a big chunk of this. We're going to see how this works. So we may be taking too much. Probably too much. Let's take it out in 2 parts. So this is moss we found literally at the parking spot of where we collected most of our moss. It was just a big chunk that was left there, and I was like, that's really cool. Okay, so this is a different type of fern moss. As you see in this fern moss, it is much more foresty. So we're going to try and use this as our background here. Let's see where we go about with it. So again, just leave the chunks there. Now, it might not have too much of a bottom that we'd have to worry about, but just in case, we're going to chop some of it out. I'm going to chop some of it away, just so it has more fresh area to attach to. And then, I think what we're going to do is we're going to tear it here. I might do a little more chopping, just a wee bit more, just to make sure that it's looking super sprucey. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're going to be our first patch we're going to put in. I'm just going to try and shove it right up here, like so. And then we're going to take our second patch and do the exact same thing, which is we're just going to tear. God, this is so fluffy. It's so fluffy! Alright. We might need a little bit more. So again, we're just going to take it, try and get as much of the green part in as possible, and just kind of shove it right in. Now, we've never tried doing 2 different mosses like this, so it's kind of a work in progress. But I think it's already creating like volumes of work right now. I think this looks really cool already. Now, I don't know if I've actually had any success growing this moss, to be honest. It's been sitting there, not really moving much lately. So it might not be a grower, but that's kind of fine because cushion moss is also not much of a grower. And the cool thing about this is that it gives a lot of texture. That looks already pretty fucking cool. Don't you think, guys? Look at that. That looks pretty awesome already. Let's just fill in some of the gaps with a little more pieces. We'll use the tweezers for the rest, I think. So we'll just grab this last little chunk right here. And we'll try and clean it up as much as we can. And then that will be kind of it. We might want to add a little bit of hardscape just for the fun of it. Just nothing crazy, like maybe a rock or two. So this is like a big bunch. So I question how much this is actually going to grow. Oh, I want to cut off the dead pieces as much as I can. Keep only the beautiful pieces showing. There we go. Alright, so we're going to first chuck... Like, look at this. Look at the texture, guys. Do you see this? Wait. I don't know how much I can zoom in without it, like, losing out. Do you see that? Is that cool? Fern moss is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna get the tweezers out at this point. So we're gonna do a big zoom in. Whee, wrong way. There we go. Oh, the magnet's making everything attach to itself. That's not good. Watch this not even be moss. Watch it just be like ferns. That'd be so fucking funny. I collected non-fern moss. I feel like it's got to be fern moss because of the way it is. Cool. A little bit more. I'm really happy how this is turning out. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like just feeling my way through it. And I think it's turning out pretty good. I'm actually super happy with how this looks, guys. Trying to get in the habit of not like ripping things apart, but actually cutting it properly. Gives a better longevity to it all. Oh no! I really want to press this in. So the last thing I want is that it's just not to stick very well. And all to just die on me. That'd be horrible. I think we're gonna get a couple more pieces just in here. Just chop off any of the dead, and then we're good to go. Yonkers. And this is meant to be a very simple build, but to show how like simplicity can be beautiful. All right, let's have a look at it. Let's see what we think so far. All right, so from the camera's perspective, show you the inside of it. There is the element that I fucked up, which is good though, because I can just go like this. There you go. Now it's no longer fucked up. All right, so there you go. And that's our little jungle. I feel like we can add something to it, because though it looks really pretty right now, I think we can do a little bit more with it. But the difference in mosses looks really cool. I think I need to move that little bit in the front here just to really separate the two. I think it looks really cool. And it's so simple. Like, it's nothing crazy. Right? So here's what it looks like, guys. And it's just really simple. Maybe we'll add like something. I don't know if I have any sticks. I tend to be bad and throw out my sticks. So maybe we add like charcoal, as if we're like, we'll add charcoal like it's something else, and see how that works. Let's see. Just take a piece of charcoal and chuck it in right like that. Just add a little bit of variety. Does that do anything for it? You know, we could actually put a couple pieces of charcoal in there. This might actually not be a terrible idea. It's like an all-natural collage to it all. kind of like it. It looks like a little bit of like stonework nestled in the woods. And again, this is meant to be a super simple build. So zoom it out a bit. There's a little zoom in. There you go. It's meant to be a little moss wall. And we'll see how it works. We don't know if it'll survive or anything. That's kind of the whole point of it all. So let's give it one big spray down just to make sure it's nice and humid in here. And then we got to add the inhabitants. Don't want to do too much, but also at the same time, it should be fine. I think it looks really cute. I think the cushion moss really adds a lot to it. So now we're going to add the new inhabitants, our little colony, which you guys can finally see in HD. Let me give it a couple taps. No, ad break. I'll wait.
This is Cora's pistol, funny little blaster with some interesting status applications. This is the build that I normally run, so once again, to quickly walk through it, we have base damage, we have viral to boost any of our DOTs that we're having, then we have primed heated charge as our first DOT, with the poison quill as our second DOT, but you can switch the quill to your liking or whatever faction you're fighting. Then we have elementalist to boost all our DOTs once again, double multi-sub mods and a little bit of crit damage because we're getting crit rate from Innovate, and that's your Hystrix Prime. This little pea shooter, insanely underrated, melts anything, and who doesn't like a little bit of status explosions?
Who doesn't?
This Rogue Culverin is gonna...
There we go. Perish.
There we go. Perish.
And that's
where we'll leave it.
Is it fucked again? Oh, the wife won't. Awkward. Hi guys, I'm blocking the screen and everything. Hold on a sec. I was trying to clean up a bit before the last little step of all this. Ugh. Ugh. Lika. Alright, there you go. Alright, I guess the wife gets points. Awkward. Wife! No, they're fine. I don't always win, sad. I mean, wife cheats. She's marrying me, so... I don't even know how to spell her name. Harrison. There you go. Alright, so last step to this whole process is going to be adding our little inhabitants to the jar. So it's interesting. I would say that, unfortunately, from a top down, the viewing angle is not very great, and I probably put too much substrate in it. But this is learning lessons, so It's fine. We're learning as we go. Man, that camera footage is just really nice, though. I'm not gonna lie. So this is what we got thus far. It's our little terrarium world. And again, as I said, I think I put too much substrate in there at the bottom. Sorry. I put too much substrate in there at the bottom. Mostly because, like, this could probably go lower with where everything is, but that's fine. So we're gonna put our little first inhabitants in here. And that is our nice, wonderful living colony of springtails. If you guys want to have a view, let me just knock them down a bit, make sure they're all good. So they're all live. Well, most of them are alive and well. Just gonna make sure they don't jump out. They're all excited. So there they are, if you can see them. I don't want them to knock out. Focus, damn you. Focus. I guess you can't see them. They're hard to see. They're very small. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna get a couple of them on a leaf. And then we're going to sprinkle them in. So we're going to get those tweezers back and keep knocking those, because otherwise they will jump out. That's kind of what they do. So let's grab a leaf. Let's grab this bad boy right here. And let's go. Cool. And then let's drop the leaf. Drop the leaf. Is that enough? Maybe I'll grab another leaf. There you go. That's more than enough. This moss home is going to have a lot of springtails, a whole colony all to themselves. And it's all just moss, so they're probably going to be a little disappointed. Hopefully it's not too many. We'll find out. And there we go. And now, that is our little moss wall terrarium. Very small, very cute. Again, probably too much. Too much substrate. Probably made it too high. But also, we probably could have used a smaller everything for it. But I think it looks cute. I think it's nice. I think it'll do really good on the shelf. Sorry, I wasn't showing. And we got our little colony in there too, so they're going to be hard at work. And again, we got a pretty high wall on all that. I always forget that the moss itself is going to be kind of giving it a little bit of a difficulty because of how tall it is. But yeah, that's it. And that's the terrarium for today, guys. Thank you everyone for joining me for this little adventure, making a moss wall terrarium. Next time we'll try and do bigger. I think we want to overall do bigger. I might want to do a really, really big one, but we're not going to be here next week because next week is going to be my wedding. Oh, I just realized I left the thing open. I hope I didn't lose any springtails. Hello, are you guys still in here? I don't know. I'm going to give it a spray down though, just in case. Because it may retain water, but you could always just spray down on the moss. Moss likes to be wet. And there is a drainage layer, so I can't really overdo it. There we go. Alright guys, so that's it for today's stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in and hanging out. I really appreciate all of you who are, consistent members of this community, even when we're doing just terrarium streams. To me, it's really fun. Favoritism. Are we invited to the wedding? No. What happened to the bugs? What do you mean? The bugs are in there. What do you mean what happened? They're in there. They're in the little terrarium right now. You can see them crawling on the big cushion moss. They're 100% doing their work. And the point of them is that they basically eat up the mold. Oh, you missed it? Well, then scroll back. If you're on YouTube, it's really easy to scroll back. If you're not on YouTube, well, sucks to be you, I guess. The whole next week. I might stream Tuesday. So basically, I'm probably not going to stream while my brother's around. So he's coming in on the Wednesday, I think. And he's leaving the Wednesday. So I'm definitely not streaming anytime between that time. So I might stream. I thought you said you killed them. Oh, I thought I killed them, but there was a bunch of them hiding. And they repopulate pretty quickly based on food. So I fed them well and they were happy. So I did kill most of the colony though. But like, they repopulate. They're bugs. I don't know what to expect. They're bugs. But yeah, with that, guys, I think that's it for today. Quick stream. But this was a non-complicated terrarium. It was literally just a moss jar because I like moss and moss is cool. If you guys ever want any tips or whatever on how to, get the most out of your moss, or if you ever want advice on building terrariums, we are going to be starting a YouTube channel called TerrariOM, which I will spell in chat right now. TerrariOM. Oopsies, it's all caps. TerrariOM. I'm gonna moss the stream. Nice. Nice, got him. So we're gonna be naming the new one called TerrariOM because it's obviously part of the OMW Productions family. And that's where we're gonna start doing our videos. And this was a really good setup. And like, I'm gonna review the stream and rewatch it through to see how I like about the video quality, how can I improve it, things like that. But I think it was actually, you know, pretty well done. It looks kind of nice. The autofocus can be a little bit much. I do want to work with bigger ones. But outside of that, you know, I had a good time. I hope you all had a good time. I hope this was a fun little weekend break. Next time we will be doing a little more than what we normally do. So there is potential for all that. But until then, that's it for today. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and we will see you. Well, just keep in tune. ! Discord if you're not part of the Discord. And I'm most definitely into these streams. I love these jokes. Keep the moss jokes up, and I will show you guys how to make moss. Let's see who's streaming right now. Just a small little raid. Anyone we know? Verd, Morganson's doing Warframe. I have my buddy Tort, but you guys don't care about Dota. I guess we'll go to Morganson. Weekend vibes! Okay, everyone's just gonna make moss jokes. Come up with a good moss joke, make a moss joke in his raid, okay? This is the moss, no, I know. You guys can come up with something. I believe in you all, okay? I love your faces. We'll be back. I'll post on the Discord on whether I'm streaming tomorrow or not. Not 100% sure, but we'll find out. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes out. I love your faces. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Love your faces. Bye.